Now on 4 News Now at 6, combating childcare staffing shortages, how Spokane County and local organizations are coming together to make sure there's enough qualified people to watch your kids.
Get ready for a hot and dry Friday. I'll let you know if the unseasonably warm weather will be sticking around for the weekend in your first alert forecast.
And rising SWAT calls. Why the Spokane County Sheriff's Office says these types of calls are on the rise, and the new tech they use to keep everyone involved safe. You're watching 4 News Now at 6. We begin with breaking news from Stevens County tonight. People are being evacuated from their homes in this area of Stevens County because of a wildfire. It's burning near 786 Arden Butte Road and all of Moran Creek Road. If you take a look at your screen, you can get a better look. It's about 2 miles south of the town of Arden between Colville and Chewelah. And fire officials have issued, as you heard, a level 3 evacuation notice. So that means leave now for the area highlighted in your screen. Fire crews are attacking from both the ground and the air, and people are asked to avoid the area. Fire crews are not going to get any help from the weather as we have a stretch of hot and dry conditions on the way.
Let's send it over to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker with a look at that forecast. Chris.
Well, temperatures today were about 10 degrees above average, 88 in Spokane. It was 88 today in Colville. Breezy conditions around Spokane in the afternoon. The winds have died down. That will help firefighters, but high temperatures tomorrow, even warmer than today by almost 5 degrees in some locations. That is not going to be much help. A high of 92 in Spokane, 90 in Colville and Coeur d'Alene, 101 in Lewiston, 93 in the Ritzville area, right around the Spokane area. Just a couple of places staying in the 80s. Just about everywhere else you'll find 90-degree heat or higher. Meanwhile, let's take a look at your evening planner. Winds, as you can see, generally fairly light, less than 10 miles per hour. That is the little bit of good news with mostly clear skies. We'll be in the 70s by 11 o'clock. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast in just a few minutes.
And Chris, for people hoping to enjoy backyard campfires this weekend, that's going to have to be in an approved manufacturer device. Area fire marshals are not taking any chances. They've enacted a burn ban that starts tomorrow for Spokane, Spokane County, the Valley, Airway Heights, Deer Park, and Medical Lake. That means no backyard fire pits or any other burning.
Nothing operates without someone to care for our children while we're at work.
Childcare, it's one of the biggest issues new parents face across the country, and it's no different in the inland Northwest. Right now, there simply aren't enough spots in childcare centers, with some wait lists being years long. One of the biggest issues facing these facilities is staffing.
Well, now there's a new program that will help train the next generation of childcare workers, and our Vanessa Perez explains how it aims to help.
Shortage is being felt right here at Rainbow Connection in downtown Spokane. The daycare wants to take in more children, but says it just doesn't have enough staff to make it possible. What happened? Becoming a childcare worker takes commitment, money, empathy, and much more.
And I could have more kids here, and I have a huge wait list, but I don't have the staff to watch them. So those people who can't find childcare can't go to work either.
Between an increase in state requirements and the cost, it's making it harder to attract people into the field.
And there are some scholarships for school, of course, and there's Pell Grants and things like that, but it's a time commitment. You have to have someplace to take your kids during that time, and it puts a lot of barriers up there for people.
But a short-term certification program focused on childcare basics aims to break down barriers.
Economy cannot run if the individuals that are working in it have children and their children do not have care providers.
It's why 25 aspiring childcare workers on a full scholarship will be trained. The course is required by the state and will teach a handful of important skills like CPR and how to safely handle food.
I don't think a lot of people know just how many certifications it takes to work in the industry. And we looked and we couldn't find anything in the state that offered all of those certifications in one place.
The class starts July 10th at Spokane Falls Community College. It still has a handful of spots available. Following the 5-week class, the newly certified childcare professionals will be connected to childcare centers, landing them right where they're needed at places like Rainbow Connection. Reporting in Spokane, Vanessa Perez, 4 News Now.
Spokane County Sheriff's Office is warning you tonight about scam calls using the names of deputies.
We have a voicemail left by one of these scammers, and it sounds very real. Take a listen.
Hello, this is Lieutenant Jeffrey Shover, Spokane County Sheriff's Office. Trying to reach a gentleman by the name of This is him. In fact, you need to contact me as soon as you receive this message. I can best be reached at 509-404-1240.
So here's the thing. There is a Lieutenant Jeffrey Shover with the Sheriff's Office, but that's not him. And the Sheriff's Office says they will never call and demand payments or threaten arrest. The phone number given in that call goes to a voicemail claiming to be Lieutenant Shover's. We double checked, and it is not connected to the real lieutenant in any way. Colleges across the U.S. can no longer take race into consideration as part of their application process, with the Supreme Court overturning affirmative action.
The Chief Justice saying the decades-old policy violated the 14th Amendment. The president slamming the Supreme Court's decision.
Discrimination still exists in America. We cannot let this decision be the last word.
Prospective students are still allowed to talk about how their race has shaped their experiences in their applications.
I'm really most worried about, the youth and the students younger than us in high school and middle school and elementary school who might not get the same opportunity that I did.
It will force every university to redo their admissions policies and try to figure out different ways to achieve diversity.
The conservative advocacy group seeking to overturn affirmative action argued before the justices that Harvard University and the University of North Carolina discriminated against Asian American applicants. Both institutions deny the allegations. The Supreme Court's ruling actually doesn't impact university students in our state much. We spoke to Eastern Washington University's admissions vice president. He says no public or private institutions have used affirmative action in admissions decisions in the last 25 years.
Students are going to find a welcoming environment regardless of the policies and practices that are in place, and that the admissions practices are really focused on identifying students' unique talents, bring those to the fore, and then ensuring that all students have equitable access in a way that enables them to achieve both their career and professional aspirations.
The state attorney general will review the Supreme Court's decision, but there are no expected changes to Washington's enrollment processes.
The Supreme Court is also expected to decide the fate of President Biden's student loan forgiveness program. That program would forgive up to $20,000 for borrowers who make less than $125,000 a year. At the heart of the case is the Department of Education's authority to forgive the loans. Several of the conservative justices have said in recent years that agencies with no direct accountability to the public have become too powerful, upsetting the separation of powers. Well, starting this Sunday, you may see some changes to your paycheck. On July 1st, Washington will become the first U.S. state to implement deductions for long-term care.
Our Allison Martinez joins us to break down just exactly how much this will affect your income.
This bill affects all workers, including part-time and temporary employees. Workers will contribute 58 cents from every $100 they make. This means someone making $50,000 a year will pay around $24.17 monthly and $290 yearly. I spoke with a long-term care business owner who tells us the bill isn't all that it seems.
What you get in the end isn't always what you think it's going to be in the beginning.
Rob Frazier has been in the long-term care industry for 30 years. His company Care to Stay Home provides non-medical in-home care services for people who can't live independently. These are the exact people the Washington Care Fund strives to help. People who can't live by themselves due to illness, injury, or aging-related conditions.
When I was on the Washington Home Care Association, we supported this bill.
But Frazier realized that the total amount that people would receive from this bill wouldn't be enough to make any sort of significant impact. The real impact would be felt by the people paying into the fund.
I think that the cost that people feel that they're going to put into it in the beginning, many of those people at the lower ends, even though it may not seem like a lot to many people, may feel like it's overwhelming.
Fraser says that when he supported the bill, he was optimistic that every dollar received would make a difference. But he realized the amount of care it would accumulate in today's economy would not be very much.
You know, I'm all for any plan, any benefit that is going to benefit our seniors, any benefit that helps people understand the need to save for the future. But sometimes when we have some sort of a forced plan, as opposed to just education, that sometimes comes across as something that's negative.
The fund will allow receivers up to $36,500 in lifetime benefits adjusted for inflation. Family members who provide care for loved ones can also be compensated under the program. Benefits will first become available on July 1st, 2026. There are some exemptions, including for active duty military families, people who live out of state but work in Washington, or are here on a temporary visa. For more information on the fund, you can visit our website, KXLY.com. Allison Martinez, 4 News Now.
Allison, thank you. And the pandemic triggered job losses, career switches, and a lot of people getting creative to get their bills paid. I want to hear from you. Did you lose your job when COVID hit, or are you still looking for work in 2023? Maybe you made a career change. Email me at koconnor@kxly.com. Well, coming up, millions of dollars in federal aid coming to one local school district. How that money will be used to improve the lives of kids in the classroom.
And the number of SWAT team calls is on the rise. What the Spokane County Sheriff says is causing the spike, and the new tech being used to end these situations peacefully. Next on 4 News Now at 6.
Track live radar on the 4 News Now weather app.
More Americans choose ABC News, America's #1 news source.
Home. It's both a place and a feeling. At yours, you strive to make new memories, create traditions, share stories, find the fun, embrace the surprises, and celebrate moments big and small. Memories are made at home, in every room, in every moment. Make your house feel like home at the Tin Roof.
Global Credit Union got its start right here at Fairchild Air Force Base and now has branches worldwide. We're proud to honor our military members by wearing red on Fridays.
Red stands for Remember Everyone Deployed, and 4 News Now is joining Global by inviting you to wear red on Fridays too.
Show your support for the men and women of our armed forces. Tell them and their families thank you for your service and for protecting our future.
Stop by any Global branch and pick up a red pin.
And then remember to wear red every Friday from now until September 11th.
Water is an essential part of our everyday lives. It's important that Spokane acts wisely to preserve our precious water resources and not waste money on evaporation and the need for supplemental water infrastructure due to a burdened aquifer. Please avoid watering your lawn between the hours of 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. and limit watering to under 2 hours a day, 3 days a week. If we all do our part, we'll keep our river flowing strong, even in times of drought.
One of the Inland Northwest most extraordinary four-wheel beasts, the Honda SUV thrives in a diverse habitat. Equally comfortable in rugged terrain or roaming city streets at night, it can travel hundreds of miles on a small amount of fuel. Fiercely protective of its young, the Honda SUV is known by its distinctive markings, CRV, Pilot, and Passport, and can live happily for decades in any garage or driveway. Catch one now at your Inland Northwest Honda dealer. Honda can handle it.
With prices of natural gas and propane skyrocketing, your heating bill is getting out of control. But before you turn down the heat, give the experts at Bill's Heating and Air a call. They have the latest in dual fuel technology to keep your family comfortable and utility bills low. And there's never been a better time to upgrade, because now every furnace purchase comes with a free heat pump. So call Bill's Heating today to get your free heat pump while supplies last.
Moran Prairie, April 14th of this year, Spokane County SWAT works to get a man barricaded inside his home to come out. And deputies say he's already fired a gun through the window. As of June 5th, Spokane County has called out its SWAT team 25 times this year.
It's about once a week. Last year, SWAT was activated 47 times, the most in the last 5 years. The Spokane County Sheriff tells us the reason for calling the Special Weapons and Tactics Unit hasn't changed in recent years.
You know, we look at all the risk factors. Is the person barricaded in a home? Are they armed? Do they have a criminal history?
In this special report, we explore the reasons behind the rise in calls and the new technology the county is using to end these situations peacefully.
So much more situational awareness out in the field.
It's training week for the Spokane County Sheriff's Office SWAT unit. In this scenario, a wanted man with a gun is in a home and won't come out. Deputies are going in remotely.
It gives us a real distinct tactical advantage.
The Sheriff's Office started its Unmanned Aerial Systems, or drone program, 5 years ago. Today, it has multiple types of drones that can do a variety of jobs.
It's come so far so quick. It's changing all the time.
This smaller drone can be flown into a home to search for people, identify booby traps, or give deputies a chance to talk directly to a person inside.
You know, we used to throw a phone in through a window, you know, a big box phone, and you throw it in and you had a cord attached to it.
What's going on today? Why do you not want to come out?
Drones have become such a useful tool. They're included with all SWAT calls, which means they're getting used now more than ever.
It's not like we used to think back in the 60s and 70s and 80s when SWAT was first coming around that, you know, these are the Navy SEALs and they're this. No, they're highly trained professionals who have the most resources to help bring these scenarios to the most peaceful conclusion.
I sat down with Sheriff John Knowles to talk about why SWAT is being called out more and more, and it came down to several factors.
We don't have as many deputies who are trained to make entries into buildings and to deal with people who are locked in homes that maybe we once did.
In 2022, SWAT responded to 47 calls, the highest number in the last 5 years. That year, the Warrant Service Group, a smaller team of SWAT members, also responded to 9 calls. Sheriff Knowles adds knowing who they're after determines if SWAT is needed.
We have better information about people. We're a lot more careful.
A recent change in use of force laws for police is also something the Sheriff's Office says is driving SWAT calls up.
State law has pretty much dictated that it's a surrounding call out if somebody's barricaded.
And drones aren't just used for standoffs. This is video of the Spokane Regional Air Support Unit helping Spokane PD search for a murder suspect who tried to get away from officers on skis. The drone staying overhead until the man was arrested. And look at this from 2021. A drone was used to scope out a fire. You can see firefighters walking up to the smoke at the bottom of your screen. Now take a look at the same fire with the drone's FLIR camera. It cuts right through the smoke, showing the heat of the flames, giving firefighters on the ground a bird's eye view of what they're up against. That same camera was used to find this man earlier this year who threatened his roommate. He ran into the dark by the river. As you can see, the FLIR camera easily picks up his body heat.
Some of the most exciting technology we have is our drones and our robots.
There's even talks about using drones as first responders, flown by pilots from separate locations, giving deputies a look at the scene before an officer arrives.
Maybe clearing patrol calls with a nothing's happening there, we don't see anything, or hey, there is something going on here, and giving real-time information quickly within seconds versus minutes.
While that's just talk right now, the benefit of using drones is easy to measure.
Just leave that gun on the table, put your hands up, and stop the front door.
So it's all working to our advantage, and it definitely helps keep us safer.
We touched briefly on the idea that deputies could pilot drones across the county to check on a fire or someone who made a 911 call. That type of response has raised privacy concerns with groups like the ACLU and how the Fourth Amendment right to privacy is impacted with that.
And there are concerns. Some people may think that these could potentially be armed. Is that a question that you addressed as well?
We did talk about the possibility of using tear gas and putting a weapon on a drone. There are robots that can drive into a house, something you'd see on a track. The Spokane Spokane County Sheriff's Department, they don't have those, but there are robots that can go into a building or go up to someone and deploy tear gas. I also asked the SWAT commander if they would ever consider putting something like a gun on a UAS or one of the drones, and he told me it's not going to happen. They aren't going to trust a mechanical device with that type of power.
Yeah, it's a very interesting and new tool. A lot to look forward to as we continue to follow what technology changes in the future.
And it's so quick. The first drone that the Sheriff's Department purchased 5 years ago now sits in the museum in the Spokane Valley Mall for law enforcement. So that kind of gives you, it kind of gives you an idea of how quickly this is developing.
Wow, what a great story. Thank you, Aaron.
Your camping forecast. Priest Lake Osprey Campground this weekend. Temperatures in the upper 70s and lower 80s with sunshine. A lot warmer down in town. I'll have your 7-day forecast after the break.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
4 News Now is brought to you by All Wills Swap Meet, July 7th through the 9th.
People who come to the Inland Northwest rave about its beauty.
For those of us who live and work here, we couldn't agree more. From its iconic history
to a ton of new beginnings. We have farm-to-table roots and access to nature right out our back door.
And as a community member, BECU wants to honor those who work together to make life better for our region.
Join us for the premier food and drink celebration, Crave, at the Spokane Valley Center Place, July 13th through the 15th. Proudly sponsored by BECU.
I'm a little over my head here.
We can certainly take care of that for you. When you're looking for a company that's noteworthy, look no further than Mainstream Electric.
They were at home near Sandpoint when George's wife Sue found him unresponsive and started CPR. Within minutes, he was airlifted to Kootenai Health because George was having a STEMI, the most serious type of heart attack. Fortunately, Kootenai Health is a level 1 STEMI center with state-of-the-art cardiac care. So, just 90 minutes after his heart attack, George woke up with a healed heart and a very happy wife.
It's the biggest trade-in event in America this week at all 3 Cal locations.
This is your chance to trade in anything. Boats, snowmobiles, motorbikes, trailers. Whether it runs or not, we're cleaning up America.
Making it the perfect time to upgrade your old ride to something better. Plus, delaying all payments until September 1st. With top dollar offered for all trade-ins during Cal's 4th of July Great Trade-In event.
There's something unusual about doing business with Idaho Central Credit Union. It's not something you can put your finger on. It's not something you can copy and mass produce. It's just the Idaho way. And that's the way we partner with your business. Welcome to Business Unusual, where how you do business is how we do business. Idaho Central Credit Union. Your business is our purpose.
We have an update now on that breaking news, a wildfire in Stevens County area. We've learned this wildfire burning 2 miles south of the town of Arden between Colville and Chewelah has already burned 7 structures. So as of now, it's unclear if any of those structures are actual homes, but level 3 evacuations are in place for people living 786 Arden Butte Road and all of Moran Creek Road.
We have also learned that as of now, a total of 45 homes are currently under level 2 evacuations, meaning be prepared to leave. You should know what's going on. Be prepared to leave at a moment's notice. And 115 homes are under level 1, meaning there is a fire in the area. Be aware of it. Pay attention. We have a news crew on the way, and we will update you as soon as we learn more. Chris Crocker, our chief meteorologist, has been talking about our hot temperatures going into this 4th of July weekend. She joins us now with what we're looking at right now for these firefighters.
Well, we are dealing with winds that are generally in the 10-mile-per-hour range. Here's Arden right here, 10 to 11 miles per hour. Very warm conditions. We are in the mid-80s throughout that region. Again, there is Arden right here on your map, Colville at the top of your screen, and very, very dry conditions. Relative humidity right now only at 28% around the region. So hot and dry. The winds will be dying down. Relative humidity will recover a little bit tonight, but it is going to be a scorching day tomorrow. 62 for an overnight low tonight. That temperature is 10 degrees above average. 92 for a high tomorrow, the warmest day of the season so far. Our lows tomorrow morning, it is not going to be the greatest night of sleeping weather. We're going to be in the 60s through the Spokane area, 63 in downtown, 63 in Spokane Valley and Liberty Lake. I've heard a lot of complaints about hot houses around the region. We'll be in the 50s in Ritzville, Pullman, St. Mary's, but those are the exceptions. Meanwhile, here's a look at your temperature trend over the next 7 days. This white line is our average high. It's in the 70s right now, 78. It'll be in the lower 80s this time next week. We do have a little bit of a cool down coming down into the mid 80s. Sunday, Monday, looks like the 4th of July may stay in the 80s before we start warming up again. Here's what's going on. We have this ridge of high pressure getting a lot of press for the very hot weather to our south. We are on the extreme northern edge of that ridge and have more of a westerly flow, so we're not getting the extreme heat that they are experiencing in other parts of the country, but we are getting some gusty winds coming in for the weekend. This is Saturday, and with the jet ride over us, we'll get those winds coming through the Cascade Gaps, and that, coupled with the hot, dry weather, has firefighters on heightened alert. We do have a fire weather watch from the Okanagan Valley through Moses Lake down through the Tri-Cities. Here's a look at your planning forecast. Along with those warm temperatures, we have plenty of sunshine and dry conditions. 4th of July, 88 degrees and sunny. No sign of any precipitation in that 7-day forecast. Aaron?
Chris, thank you. 2 years ago today, we experienced the hottest weather in Spokane's history. That's 2021 Pacific Northwest heat dome set dozens of records and killed an estimated 800 people across the U.S. and Canada.
Yeah, it's that time of year. It was an extremely rare event, and since then, the world has seen a lot of extreme heat. New at 6, meteorologist Matt Gray is tracking these outbreaks, including some happening right now, Matt.
Thank you, Kirsten. 2 years ago, Spokane's all-time high temperature, Washington's all-time high temperature, and the all-time high temperature for the entire country of Canada in this heat wave. That culprit of all of this was a high-pressure zone that had some really unbelievable strength and basically cooked everything below it during, well, 2 straight weeks here in the Spokane area of highs over 90 degrees. And in just 2 years, that heat dome seems a little less exceptional than it was at the time, and that's because, well, there's been more of these and a lot more. Last summer, wildfires broke out in the United Kingdom when temperatures there hit an all-time high of 104 degrees Fahrenheit, and 2022 was the hottest summer in Europe's history. Now, experts estimate that the heat contributed to the death of somewhere around 20,000 people across the continent, and the heat continues here in 2023. Mid-80s in Northwest Canada in April and May. We know all about this, led to the wildfires that have now spread their smoke through the United States and as far away as Spain and Portugal on the other side of the ocean. Now, in East Asia, yeah, there's more. Heat has lingered for the past 3 months in some areas and is breaking likely hundreds of records from Bangladesh all the way to Siberia. And then there's more. I know, there's a heat dome that's been going on for over 2 weeks over Mexico, Texas, and now moving into the southeast United States. Mexican officials say that at least 112 people have died because of this. And in Del Rio, Texas, as you can see on your screen, a new record high was set for 10 consecutive days. Each of those days was well over 100 degrees, and they only ended that streak on Tuesday. So the warmer the climate becomes, friends, the more opportunity there is for extreme heat to happen. I think we've seen quite a bit, as you can tell. It also means the temperatures that were thought impossible in some places 30 or more years ago are certainly a lot more possible now, something that we also experienced just a couple of years ago.
Matt, thank you. A birthing center in Pend Oreille County has reopened. How it will cut down commute times for expecting mothers in North Idaho. That's coming up.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
Have you been looking for the perfect pre-owned vehicle and wondered, where have all the used cars gone?
At Coeur d'Alene Honda, we have the best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Whether you're looking for a Toyota, Subaru, Ford, or maybe that perfect Honda.
Every pre-owned vehicle is quality inspected and ready for you to take home today.
We work with local lenders to get you the rate you deserve.
Inventory changes daily, so come see us at Coeur d'Alene Honda or visit us on our website at cdahonda.com.
When you're faced with the question,
"Hey honey, what do you want for dinner?"
he should know my answer is going to be mustard seed. Original signature dishes that are made fresh daily. Great happy hours, and locally owned. Life's too short for mediocre food. Mustard Seed, where Spokane eats. Dine in, take out, and delivery.
Alabama, Roll On North America Tour, presented by Kenworth. July 6th, Spokane Arena. With very special guest, the Marshall Tucker Band. Alabama, live. All your favorite songs from the greatest country band of all time. On sale now at ticketswest.com. Produced by Outback Presents.
Global Credit Union got its start right here at Fairchild Air Force Base and now has branches worldwide. We're proud to honor our military members by wearing red on Fridays.
Red stands for Remember Everyone Deployed, and 4 News Now is joining Global by inviting you to wear red on Fridays too.
Show your support for the men and women of our armed forces. Tell them and their families thank you for your service and for protecting our future.
Stop by any Global branch and pick up a red pin.
And then remember to wear red every Friday from now until September 11th.
Save thousands on the new Revolutionary Swim Spa at a one-time sale. Friday through Tuesday. Spokane County Fair and Expo Center. Exercise with low impact. Swim the entire year and stay in shape. Teach your kids to swim. Unwind and save thousands. Avoid the expense and maintenance involved with a pool. Swim, exercise, and relax in your new aquatic exercise swim spa. Installation in 1 day only. New 2023 inventory. 18-month interest-free financing. Millions of dollars of inventory must be sold. Spokane County Fair and Expo Center. Free admission. Free parking. Call 833-SPA-SALE.
4 News Now is brought to you by All Lines Insurance at alllinesinsurer.com.
New at 6.
The St. Mary's School District has been awarded nearly $15 million, all part of a federal grant to assist schools in desperate need of repair.
Our Jordan Smith joins us from St. Mary's tonight with what this money will be used on and why it's been awarded at the perfect time.
Well, the town of St. Mary's woke up to a life-changing surprise this morning. Their school district is one of 24 across the entire country who's going to receive critical funding to repair long-standing issues that have plagued schools like Hayburn Elementary for years. Schools within the St. Mary's School District have endured a growing list of issues. The schools currently heat their buildings with heating oil and no means to cool them off. Windows, drainage, siding, also on the laundry list of repairs growing at these aging buildings.
These kinds of repairs, these kinds of changes are so expensive, so expensive. They're beyond what our local taxpayers are able to do.
Alyssa Holdhouse is winding down her career as superintendent of the school district. Her biggest goal was to fund these repairs. 6 months ago, she applied for the Renew America's School Grant, a $178 million grant that would be split amongst 24 school districts in need. 2 days from retirement, and she got the notification.
I've been joking for a while about, wouldn't it be cool if my last official duty at St. Mary's School District was to accept this grant? And oh my gosh, I retire on Friday, and today I find out about the grant.
Her dream becoming reality. Each school will have new HVAC systems installed, along with other crucial repair work done, adding some much-needed life to these tired buildings. Donnie Masterson is a lifelong St. Mary's resident.
My kids all went to school here. Now I have grandkids in the school here.
These repairs ensure another generation will be able to walk those halls and continue to provide students opportunities.
You know, I love this community for a lot of reasons, and the school here and having the best for our kids is right at the very top of the list. So,
in St. Mary's, Jordan Smith, 4 News Now.
Still ahead, cancer medications are in short supply, forcing doctors to come up with alternative treatments.
The impact the shortage is having on a local woman's battle with cancer coming up.
Well, this month, Newport Hospital just reopened its delivery department. Hear about the impact that this will have on the community, both here in Newport and in Idaho.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
Shelter. Out here,
It's the most important thing. But the good thing is, my Ford F-150 provides enough power to keep working.
Get a great deal on an F-150, only at your local Ford dealer.
This could be you. Just chilling, staying cool this summer. Join us for jackpots, food, and fun at Mississauga Casino Hotel. Play your favorite games to earn your entries to win a share of $13,000 cool cash, paddle boards, kayaks, and air conditioners. Mississauga Casino Hotel, keeping it cool. Drawings start at 5 p.m. Saturday, July 29th. Learn more at Mississauga.com.
This week, Walker's Furniture is combining their anniversary sale with their 4th of July sale for double the discounts. Where the more you spend, the more you save, up to $760 off. Or you can take advantage of special 5 years no-interest financing with no money down.
So you can get that new living room furniture or stylish bedroom set you've been wanting and pay for it later.
Making it the perfect time to furnish your life for less.
During the 43rd 4th of July sale at Walker's.
This summer, GMA's popping up all across the country, spreading sunshine and summertime fun in the morning. It's GMA's Rise and Shine Summer Tour.
Rise and shine. Rise and shine.
So, could we be coming to your hometown?
That sound. Wolves. Boy, they sound hungry.
Load up, wolves.
Good thing this Ford Explorer has Sync 3 technology. Keeps them entertained on the way to dinner.
Get a great deal on an Explorer, only at your local Ford dealer.
Fire pit dangers. Next Inside Edition. It can happen in a flash, even when you're roasting marshmallows.
What you need to know to stay safe.
What to know this July 4th weekend before you go near a backyard fire pit. Then, hidden hazard for your dogs at the beach. How a day of play on the sand could lead to major problems. A warning for your pups. Next Inside Edition.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7.
Earlier this year, Marta Varga, a Chewelah resident, was told she had cancer and shortly after was told the drug she needed was in short supply. It's a problem many cancer patients and doctors are navigating right now as they try to find alternative treatments.
4 News Now's Natalie Grant is live for us tonight and shares how local patients are being impacted. Natalie.
Well, Aaron, Kirsten, local oncologists are keeping an eye on this short supply and having to potentially tell their patients that these life-saving drugs might not be available. And for patients like Marta Varga, the news of this shortage has left her dumbfounded as she faced off in her cancer battle. The last 2 years have been hard for Chewelah resident Marta Varga. After a series of medical problems, earlier this year, she was diagnosed with endometrial cancer, only to be told the drug she needed was not available.
I just didn't understand how that can happen. What you mean you don't have a cancer drug? I mean, this is the United States of America. This is the best country in the world.
It's a situation becoming far too common for cancer patients due to a lack of supply of 4 generic treatment drugs.
We use them in ovarian cancers, cervical cancers, lung cancers, breast cancers.
Dr. Brett Groley, who is an oncologist at Multicare here in Spokane, says it's been a tough situation for patients and doctors alike.
Meeting with someone for the first time saying, hi, you have cancer and we want to treat you. Normally I would give you this drug, but because of a drug shortage, we have to give you something that may not work as well. That's really tough. We'll give them the best option that we have, and we've been very open with our patients about the drug shortage. And it has caused a lot of anxiety in those patients.
Gorley saying the shortage has really ramped up in the last couple of months due to an overseas production center being shut down, and the impacts could go on for another 6 to 12 months, time that some cancer patients don't have. Now, when it comes to how these drugs are distributed, Dr. Gorley says it all comes down to whether those cancers can be treated or not. And as for Marta, in her case, her alternative treatment and the small amounts of that correct drug that she has been given has worked in her favor. Recently, she was told by her doctors that she is now cancer-free. So even though this is a tough situation, there is still hope on the horizon for some. Reporting in Spokane, Natalie Grant, 4 News Now.
Natalie, thank you. The CDC has now approved 2 RSV vaccines for older adults. RSV is a common respiratory virus with symptoms similar to the common cold. And while most healthy people can recover within a week, RSV can be serious for the very old and the very young. The endorsement from the CDC director follows recommendations from the agency's Independent Vaccine Advisory Committee and approvals from the Food and Drug Administration. The 2 vaccines, one from GSK and one from Pfizer, were the first of their kind to be approved by the federal agencies. The CDC expects the vaccines to be available this fall.
Live look over the Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena on a beautiful evening across the inland Northwest. It is still very warm, and we have even hotter weather on the way for Friday. We've got hot weather for Friday. Here are 4 things to know about your forecast. High temperatures will be in the lower 90s. Could have the warmest day of the season so far in Spokane. An absolutely dry forecast through the 7-day outlook, and that it is going to be warm and sunny for the 4th. Looks like in the upper 80s, so not too hot, but still above average. Here's a look at some live conditions. The traffic starting to thin out in Coeur d'Alene. It's 88 degrees and sunny in the Lake City, 87 in Spokane. Beautiful, partly cloudy skies. Those fair weather cumulus just making for an extra pleasant evening on the deck. Here's a look at our satellite and radar, and it is much quieter than it has been the past several nights at this time. We've had a few isolated showers up along the Canadian border and also in the central panhandle, some rumbles of thunder, but right now we are clearing out for clear skies overnight and a sunny day tomorrow. It's going to be a warm start to the day. We'll be in the mid-60s at 6 o'clock, heading up to that high of 92. 78 is our average high. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast, also looking out 8 to 14 days in your extended outlook. Aaron?
Chris, thank you. Newport Hospital is once again delivering babies. It had to stop because it didn't have the staff. This is great news for many expecting mothers across North Idaho, since Bonner General in Sandpoint closed its obstetrics unit earlier this year. Before, an expecting mother in Sandpoint would have to drive almost 50 miles to Coeur d'Alene to receive expert care. Now, they only have to travel about 30 to Newport Hospital. Tonight at 6:30, Bronte Sorotsky spoke with hospital staff about the challenges they faced in the past and how expectant mothers can give birth in their own town once again.
The reopening of Newport Hospital's delivery department is a huge boost for this community. Before, women would have to go to Spokane to have their babies delivered, an hour away.
So it was a year that we were not doing deliveries here.
For all of 2022, expectant mothers in the Newport area would have to go elsewhere to have their babies.
Across the continuum, finding nurses was very difficult, and finding labor and delivery nurses who are trained and willing and able to not only work labor and delivery but also help in our medical surgical unit is a very hard combination to find.
Although the town of Newport is only home to about 2,000 people, Newport Hospital serves over 14,000 people between Washington and Idaho. This year, Bonner General Hospital in Sandpoint closed its obstetrics unit, losing all OB services.
But we potentially, in time could see that picks up, as you said, with more hospitals closing their obstetrics unit or not providing the service.
When Bonner General's delivery department closed, Newport Hospital brought in 6 former Bonner General employees.
We have recruited some of their nursing staff, so we have the nurses that are here providing care also closer to their home.
While Newport Hospital's delivery department has been closed for the last year, it still provided the necessary neonatal care. And because it is a rural hospital, staff members say they can only do low-risk deliveries. And although rare, there still could be situations where women would need to travel to have their babies delivered. And as for how many people are coming from Idaho to have their babies delivered here, staff tells me it's too early to have a number ready. Reporting in Newport, Bronte Sorotsky, 4 News Now.
Washington State welcomed its new baseball coach to campus today. His goals for the program coming up in sports.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
ABC News, honored for excellence with 41 Emmy nominations, the most of any news organization anywhere. Thank you for making ABC News America's #1 news.
Get your home summer ready and take advantage of some big savings. At Ironstone Furniture and Fire, you can create your outdoor space and save on in-stock selections of barbecues, outdoor furniture, fire pits, and more. Everything you need to enjoy the outdoors with family and friends. Visit our showroom, Ironstone Furniture and Fire in Coeur d'Alene.
Our priorities, they've changed.
Hey Lexus, play my music.
It's not just about getting ahead or the constant grind. It's about knowing what you want.
Watch for traffic.
And focusing on what matters. Welcome to the next level. This is the Lexus NX. With intuitive tech and our most advanced safety system ever.
Creating healthy meals is hard work. Chopping and grating. Just think of all the time it's taking. What you need is NutriSlicer, the super easy way to make nutritious meals every day. Just lock NutriSlicer to your counter to slice, chop, and grate with total control. NutriSlicer makes family-sized chopped salads in no time. Finally, grate cauliflower, your favorite low-fat cheese, and veggies. You can get the complete NutriSlicer system for just $19.99. Order today and we'll even ship your entire order free. You get all this at incredible value. Order now.
Global Credit Union got its start right here at Fairchild Air Force Base and now has branches worldwide. We're proud to honor our military members by wearing red on Fridays.
Red stands for Remember Everyone Deployed, and 4 News Now is joining Global by inviting you to wear red on Fridays too.
Show your support for the men and women of our armed forces. Tell them and their families thank you for your service and for protecting our future.
Stop by any Global branch and pick up a red pin.
And then remember to wear red every Friday from now until September 11th.
Next live, guest co-host Ryan Seacrest with Josh Duhamel.
That was Fonzie.
But you said Fonzie.
Plus Brianne Howie.
Watch live tomorrow at 9, right after GMA.
Something to talk about around the dinner table tonight, our record for today. Matt Gray talked about it in the last half hour. Check out his story on KXLY.com. 109 degrees, our record set just back in 2021. That was quite a day. Not only the record for the day, but for the month and for the all-time history of Spokane. 88 was our high today, more than 20 degrees cooler than that, but 10 degrees above average, and a very warm start to the day at 63. It's going to be warm again tonight. The house not getting much of a chance to cool down, as we're going to keep our temperatures above average for the next several days. However, the heat not getting too far away from us. In fact, we're actually going to cool down a little bit for the weekend. Mid-80s, upper 80s on the 4th of July, and then back into the 90s Wednesday and Thursday. And looking out at some of those long-range forecasts, looks like that trend may continue. We could have a lot more 90s coming. In the meantime, let's take a look at our forecast, starting off at our current time. High pressure building in, but again, it's not getting away from us. We're seeing a fairly flat ridge for us with a westerly flow over the region. That's keeping the very hottest air well to our south, but it's also going to create a breeze on Saturday that has firefighters on heightened alert. We do have a fire weather watch for the area shaded in tan on your screen. That is for low relative humidity, very warm conditions, as well as gusty winds coming through the Cascade Gaps, through the Okanagan Valley, down through parts of the Columbia Basin and into the Tri-Cities. Something to keep in mind when we're heading into this very dangerous next few days. Our temperature trend 8 to 14 days, getting a stronger signal of above average temperatures as we are in that darker orange. This is July 7th through July 13th. Look at all this cool air to our east. That is not something we're going to tap into. Yet, our friends at the Climate Prediction Center continue to put us in this chance of above average precipitation, which they've been doing week after week after week, but that is yet to pan out. I think we will see those afternoon showers and thunderstorms, but it will be very hit and miss. And hopefully they'll be hitting in the right places, and certainly wet thunderstorms, a nice alternative to the dry thunderstorms, which we have not had to deal with. Your planning forecast over the next 7 days, absolutely dry, mostly sunny skies, high temperatures above average. We do have some cooler nights ahead in the mid-50s Sunday and Monday. Kirsten?
Thank you. And our local fire departments are working against using your own, or warning rather, against using your own fireworks this 4th of July weekend. The sale and use of amateur consumer fireworks is illegal in most of Spokane County. The possession of fireworks costs you at least $536 for the first offense, and that's not including damages or other fines. Using your own fireworks can damage property, and it's a wildfire hazard in the region. It can also cause serious injuries.
Some of them can get up to 1,200 degrees, and at that kind of temperature, in a mere moment, you're going to burn your skin and cause really severe damage.
To help make it a safe and enjoyable 4th of July for everyone, take your family to a professional fireworks show instead. And you can see what the city of Spokane has planned in this story on KXLY.com.
Here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup tonight.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
For BECU credit union members, freedom means free checking with no monthly maintenance fees and no minimum balance requirement. And it means access to your money whenever, wherever, with over 30,000 surcharge-free co-op network ATMs nationwide. So join us at BECU.
Big Tobacco thinks they know everything. They think they know you, your community, the places you go, and the way that you spend your time. They think they got you all figured out. Down to a formula, a calculation based off of numbers of what they think they know. Show them they're wrong. Learn more at theythinktheyknowyou.org.
Interested in a top-load laundry set? See the best selection of top-load laundry sets anywhere at Fred's 4th of July sale.
Like this Hot Point top-load set. Top-load washers and dryers start at $4.99 each.
GE top-load laundry sets have features like a water station for hand rinsing, sensor drying, and deep fill for your biggest loads.
Shop early for best selection, many models and colors to choose from.
GE laundry sets are in stock and on sale. Don't miss this sale.
I'm Mark Peterson with information from AARP and BECU. What images come to mind when you hear the phrase long-term care? It comes in many forms, whether it's assisted living, home health care, chores, or just providing transportation for appointments. Washington State ranks second in the nation when it comes to choices and options for long-term care, allowing older adults to live independently in their own homes where they want to be. AARP and BECU are here to help you plan for your future care needs. For tips, tools, and resources, visit this website.
How far would you go?
I want to prank my best friend Lewis.
My husband.
My roommate.
For the ultimate payback.
That's a yes. Revenge.
X gon' give it to you. X gon' give it to you. He gon' give it to you.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Johnny Knoxville, Eric Andre, and Gabourey Sidibe are The Prank Panel. Premieres July 9th on ABC.
When I think of a mortgage advisor, I think of someone who is not approachable or friendly. But then we went to BECU and I met Lauren. She was like, this is how you buy a home. BECU changed my life and my family's life.
4 News Now. Expect more on air, online, and on the app.
It's a new era for Washington State baseball. Welcome into sports. I'm Julian Minensone. Nathan Choate was officially introduced as the Cougars' new baseball coach this afternoon. Choate's resume speaks for itself. He arrives at WSU after leading Loyola Marymount to a regular season conference championship. It was the Lions' first outright regular season title in 25 years. Choate also coached the WCC Pitcher of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and Freshman of the Year. Prior to his 4 years at LMU, Choate spent time at the University of San Diego, UC Riverside, and Cal Poly. Washington State hasn't made a College World Series in 13 years. Choate says he is more focused on building the foundation of the program first.
I was just at a school that hadn't won an outright WCC championship in 25 years. I don't really focus on the things that haven't happened or how long it's been. I really just want to get the right people in the building and play good baseball. And I think if you do that, keep your head down, your mouth shut, and just work, and then the play will take care of itself.
Here are some of Choate's notable accomplishments. Choate was the 2023 WCC Coach of the Year after that regular season title. Throughout his career, Choate has made 2 College World Series appearances and has helped 25 players get drafted into Major League Baseball. Seattle Mariners manager Scott Servais was named to the coaching staff for the American League All-Star team. Servais has finished in the top 3 of Manager of the Year voting in each of the last 2 years. The MLB All-Star game is July 11th at T-Mobile Park in Seattle. This time next week, all the incoming rookies will be getting their first taste of pro basketball. The NBA Summer League tips off from Las Vegas. Washington State center Mohamed Gay and guard Justin Powell will be hoping to impress their coaches and make an NBA roster. Gay will be playing for the Atlanta Hawks. Powell will suit up for the Miami Heat. Washington State head coach Kyle Smith says he expects the Hawks to give Gay a contract extension and guaranteed money, which is something you don't see every day, especially for a second-round draft pick.
He really has only played for 4 years. I think it's a steal for Atlanta, but also I think it's with the salary caps and stuff like that, where I think they were taking, ironically, are taking more ready-to-go guys. But Mo's going to need probably get stronger as much as anything, just stronger at the experience. But I do think there's a big ceiling there.
And the NBA Summer League runs July 7th to the 17th in Las Vegas. Also, that first day of Summer League will pit Julian Strawther against Drew Timme, 2 Gonzaga greats going head-to-head. That'll wrap us up for sports. We'll be right back.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
I'm Mark Peterson, the Extreme Team at Horizon Credit Union, ready to take on the next task. If you know of a project that needs an Extreme Team makeover, go to KXLY.com to nominate it. 4 News Now Extreme Team brought to you by Horizon Credit Union.
The festival at Sandpoint is back for its 40th annual Summer Series. Celebrate with live music on the lake and under the stars. This year's headliners include Britt Floyd, Gary Clark Jr., Train with Better Than Ezra, The String Cheese Incident, Michael Fronte and Spearhead with Soja, REO Speedwagon with Charlie Farron, Ashley McBride, and the grand finale, The Princess Bride in concert. Tickets are selling fast. Visit festivalatsandpoint.com to get your tickets today.
What you waiting for? Are you ready? Ready?
I'm ready.
Let's take it where no one has been before.
$300,000.
Say no more. Are you ready?
At Mainstream, our mission is to keep your family comfortable all year long. Whether that's a simple repair or a new furnace or AC system, we'll be there, ready to serve you when you need us most.
Electrical, heating, cooling, and plumbing. Choose smart. Call the company with heart.
Global Credit Union got its start right here at Fairchild Air Force Base and now has branches worldwide. We're proud to honor our military members by wearing red on Fridays.
Red stands for Remember Everyone Deployed, and 4 News Now is joining Global by inviting you to wear red on Fridays too.
Show your support for the men and women of our armed forces. Tell them and their families thank you for your service and for protecting our future.
Stop by any Global branch and pick up a red pin.
And then remember to wear red every Friday from now until September 11th.
Next, E.T. Mission Impossible's Greg Tarzan Davis joins us in the Bahamas for the ultimate E.T. mission.
110, 111.
Next, E.T.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30.
Non-attorney spokesperson. This is a paid advertisement for legal services sponsored by Nightline Legal. Cases assigned on a random basis to participating law firms. If you or a loved one were stationed at Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987 and were later diagnosed with cancer, Parkinson's disease, or other serious health effects, call right now.
Call 1-800-435-6817.
Here is your planning forecast. Plan on finding a nice place to stay cool tomorrow. Maybe the pool or the sprinklers or
there you go.
yes, 92 for a high.
Yeah. Just a reminder too, we do have a crew out in Stevens County following that fire that had level 3 evacuations for what we're looking at, probably 100 homes, I think is the last.
The changes are going to be posted on KXLY.com, but you are right, Aaron. We got up to 100 homes or structures. Still learning more about what has already burned.